his work bridges the gap between research and practice, driving sustainable development and informed decision-making in the agricultural sector. So let's make welcome Martin Boton once again. So over to you, Martin Boton.
Thank you so much, Samuel, for that warm welcoming message and biography. Good afternoon or good evening, according to where you are. Me, I'm currently in West Africa, especially in Benin. I hope you can hear me, please.
I can hear you.
Okay, so I'm in Benin, and Benin is now 3 p.m., so we are in the afternoon. Thank you so much for joining this webinar. It's a great opportunity for me to again share knowledge, and don't take it, this webinar has a top-down approach. So we are here to exchange knowledge, to learn from each other, because I know you guys are also have a good background, plant building students, PhD students. All together we can share our knowledge to build our continents. So thank you so much, Samuel, for this invitation. So let me start. Can I share my screen, please?
Yes, you can.
Fantastic.
You're a co-host, so you should have permission to share your screen.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Great.
Let me redo it. Give me a second. Give me a second. Let's share my screen. Okay, can you see it?
Yeah, perfectly.
Okay.
Yeah. You can just expand and maybe you should go to presentation mode.
Yeah, exactly. Let me do that. Can you still see it?
Yes. Can you just like maybe like a forward button? It's blank.
Oh, okay. Let me check.
Maybe just go through the slide. This is the end of the slide. It's saying end of the slide.
Okay, yeah. Let me see it. It seemed I was sharing another. Sorry for this. Give me a second. Okay. Is it okay now?
Not yet. I can't see your screen. Can you reshare it
Oh,
again? Like reshare it again?
yeah, that's what I'm doing. I think the laptop. Okay.
Like close it and then reshare it. Like close the
Yeah.
window and then
Is
yeah.
it now okay? It should be okay
Yeah.
now. Okay.
Yep. Great. 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 Thank you.
Fantastic. Okay. I think it should be clear now. Is it okay? Samuel, can I go ahead?
Yep. You're good.
Okay, thank you. And sorry for this technical problem. We
No
cannot
problem.
prevent everything. Yeah, so the theme of this webinar is titled Leveraging Evidence-Based Research for Food Security. So we will go deeper and see how we can use research or we can use evidence to have a more focused food security intervention. So during this presentation, I will cover these 4 different parts. The first one will be what is the importance of evidence-based research. The second part will cover how to gather evidence for an evidence-based research. So when we know that the evidence is important, then how can we get access to that evidence, how to gather it? In the third part, we will talk about case studies, research agenda that have been developed by assets in the food security area. And the last part, we cover how we should be mindful, we should be innovative and mindful of the fact that the research is produced to be used and not produced to be stuck somewhere. So we have to have that in mind. So let me just start. So the importance of evidence-based research. What is the importance of evidence research, evidence-based research? First of all, we have to know what is evidence. Evidence is the body of information used to validate or deny an argument or claim. It consists of robust information that can help to transform strategic priority into concrete, manageable, and achievable plans. So evidence is like information, any information that can come to validate something. You see, so I have this conception of about something. So you have to, what is the proof? What is, how can I say, a tangible proof or an information, even not tangible, that can validate what you said. So that is an evidence. And as you know, evidence help to transform strategic priority into concrete, manageable, and achievable plans. You may have a conception about something, an idea about some things, but when you don't put some evidence, people will not know that this is real. So that's how we can define evidence. We can have many kind of definition, but that is one of them. So what are categories of evidence? So when we talk about category of evidence, we can distinguish 3 types. We have academic evidence, we have practical evidence, and we have social evidence. So when we talk about academic evidence, is everything that is based on research or on empirical findings, on experiments, everything that we do in research to generate some insights. So this evidence in the academic area should be objective, replicable, and generalizable. So evidence that I have in the academic area, someone cannot come and say, oh, this is not the case. So it should be, even if he has that perception, it should be objective. It's not based on subjectivity. It should be that. So that evidence, I can be able also to replicate it. Like if I have done a research and I put the methodology that I have used to do the research, that means someone else can do the same thing in the another environment or in the another country. So that is academic evidence. That now, when we come to the practical evidence, is an evidence that is based on technical expertise. For example, I have expertise in natural resource management, or I have expertise in e-agriculture, all those things. So that also is an evidence. Now, social evidence, there it's a bit subjective. It's based on perception, you see? So it's related to value and personal experiences, which is opposite to academic. Academic is objectives. So why should I use evidence as a researcher? For a researcher, evidence is foundational to the scientific process. Actually, evidence serves several key purposes, such as advancing knowledge, methodological rigor. As I was saying, when I do my research, I have to put a methodology. And that methodology, maybe I'm not the author of that methodology. It seems I have done some literature review. I saw the method that people have used to do a kind of research, so I can also use it. So that follow a process which is rigorous. It also helps to advancing knowledge. Evidence is essential for building upon existing knowledge. It allows researchers to verify previous findings, fill gaps in the current understanding, and challenge or refine theoretical framework. So as a researcher, you can use the existing knowledge, or you can even produce a knowledge to fill the gap that exists in that field. Also, innovation can also serve as, evidence can also serve as discovery. Evidence supports innovation by providing new insights. So when I have done a research, it's because I found that there is a gap that I want to fill. So what I bring as a result after my research is insight, is new insight, it is innovation, it is a discovery. So, and also in the other parts, evidence, there is an ethical responsibility. So as a researcher, you have an ethical obligation to base your conclusion on solid evidence to avoid misinformation and potential harm to society. For example, you guys who are in the plant breeding sector, for example, you say there is a species, a plant species, I'm just saying something. There's a plant species that is harm to the human, and then you say you will mix it with something and then give and then use it for consumption. So you see, there will be a problem. You will cause harm to the society. So evidence helps you to have some ethical responsibility. So you have to know what you are giving to people. The same thing apply to the medicine area. When we talk about medicine that doctor give to patient, all those things. So that is why you should use evidence. So it helps you to have some ethical responsibility, discover and advance knowledge. So now, when should I use evidence? Your evidence journey should begin early and carry through till the end of your research. There's no a particular path that you should start using evidence. When you start having an idea, thinking of something, you can start using evidence. Because what you have in mind could not be something new. Maybe it already exists, and you are saying that this is good, it is a nice idea. But when you go to the evidence, you search for evidence, you do some background search or some literature review, you find out that this exists, or you can even change the topic that you are having in mind. So there's no a particular step or a particular moment that you should use evidence. It should be throughout your research process. Now, how do I know what evidence to use? You know, as a researcher, your role is to identify, synthesize, present, and use evidence for research studies. But however, not all form evidence are equally important or relevant. So you have many roles as a researcher. So you are there to identify evidence, synthesize what is there, or even use what is there. Now, parameters such as accuracy, objectivity, credibility, generalizability, relevance, and practicability are all critical in ensuring that evidence that you are using is related to the objective at hand. As we said before, um, you use evidence to advance knowledge, and then you use evidence also to get in order to have some ethical responsibility. So all those characteristics that or parameters that are here should be followed up. Now, evidence should be empirically based, systematically collected, trustworthy, and of minimum level of quality. So your evidence should come from from an experiment, or you can use systematic review to collect some information on a particular topic. But all those things should be of minimum level of quality. You should ensure a minimum level of quality. It does mean because the research is published that is of a high quality. I'm not sure because there are different category of journals. So you see. So as a researcher, as I said, you are both an evidence producer and an evidence user. You are an evidence producer because you can generate also evidence. You can do a research and provide results. And you are an evidence user because through the process. Can you mute, please? So as an evidence user, you play that role throughout your research process, because since you start doing some background check or some literature review, you start using evidence. So in there you are an evidence user. Through the process of your research study, your work can inform decision maker and other researcher. You understand? And similarly, the work of other researchers can inform yours also, as I was explaining. So when you try to do some literature review, so the work that has been done by other researchers is informing you. But when you produce your evidence now, you do your research, you get some results, that result can also be used by other researcher or policy maker. So now, when you know all those things, now the problem is how to gather evidence. What is the best process or the best methodology to gather evidence for an evidence-based research? Here we have 4 different steps. The first one is ask yourself the right question. What am I going to do? Determine the scope of your evidence base. What is the scope of your evidence? Which area do you want to cover? You have to have all those in mind. You have also to determine the type of evidence you are looking for. There are different types of evidence, or there are different types of data. There are qualitative data, there are quantitative data, there are primary data, there are secondary data, there are many things, there are many types of evidence. So you have to be sure of what type of evidence you are looking for. Also, and after all this, you have to conduct a search for evidence. How that search can be done, we will discover this. Samuel, I think I'm not going like so quickly. Is it okay? How am I?
I think you are good. We don't know how many slides are left, but but I think you're
I
fine.
think we have around 20, 25 slides. We are on the 12
All right,
slides.
so that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, you still have,
Okay,
yeah,
okay,
you're on time.
okay. Okay. So please, guys, please note your question. We have a question session, question and response session. So you will have the possibility to ask all the questions. So the first step in gathering evidence is ask yourself the right question. You have to define your objective and learning question around 4 pillars. I think that approach is used by is used to do a systematic review. The approach is called PICO approach. The P is problem, the problem and population. The second one is the intervention. What is the intervention? What is the new thing you want to do? Therefore, we have the comparison. So to what you want to compare your interventions to make decision at the end. And now what are the outcome of that comparison with the previous intervention or with the intervention you want to do? So you have those 4 key points that you have to define clearly in order to build your research question. And after defining that, you have to integrate those 4 pillars into your learning question to guide your evidence search. So you have your problem defined and the population on which you want to work, the intervention, the comparison, and the outcome. So you use all those things to define your question. So you have to be ready to adapt your question as you go through your search for evidence. You may have defined a problem, but when you start reading some paper, doing some literature review, you find out that is obsolete or what you are looking for already exists. You can again redefine or readapt your question and say, maybe because there is a gap in this area, maybe let me go and deep dive in that area. So it's not something that is static. So you can still working on that, working on it to make it very very strong, because you are going to use it on online platform, Google engine like Google Scholar to do your research. We will see that in the further slides. So the second step is now to determine the scope of your evidence base. Once you have your research question defined, you have made you have tried to adapt that to the current knowledge that you have on the topic, all those things. Now you have to determine the scope of your evidence. So the scope help you actually to do a stakeholder analysis to define or identify what is already exists and who is working on or interested in the same evidence base as you. So that helps you to have a broad view on the topic you are working on. Who are the authors working on it? What are the evidence that have been already generated on that? And the stakeholder analysis can even go deeper and try to identify other stakeholders, maybe the government, the NGOs, all those stakeholders. So to know what are their key problem or what exists as evidence already. And also, you have to use this defined evidence base to make your decision to search for more evidence or use what is already there. Now, the third step. In the third step, you determine what type of evidence you are looking for, as I was saying. So there are many types of evidence. You have to decide upon the source. You have to decide upon the source and type of information you are going to use for the question you are seeking to address. So is it, do you want a primary source or secondary source? So you have to define, or do you want qualitative data, quantitative data? It depends on the topic you are interested in. So you tailor the search and identify fit for purpose evidence. And once you finish that step, you now try to conduct a search for evidence. You have your question, you have done the stakeholder analysis. You have tried to do all things about which type of evidence you are looking for. You know all those aspects of your thing. Now, you have to conduct the search using both academic and grey literature searches. So when we talk about academic sources, we are talking about online platforms like Google, Google Scholar. We have also Web of Science. We have Scopus. We have ResearchGate. We have many. So you can use those engines to try to search for evidence. So each of these sources have their particular characteristic or have their particular method to search for evidence. So you have to learn it. And now when we talk about grey literature is something that has not been maybe published. It is a report from a stakeholder consultation or multi-stakeholder consultation, or from big company or big organization as FEO or USID, or all those organizations. They are not academically based, but they are also strong evidence, so you can also use them. So that's what we put in the grey literature. You can also go to the government agency, the Ministry of Agriculture, because here we are in the food security, to search for some reports or those informations. Now, as I was saying, you use platform and website to provide relevance reference for your sector or domain. When I'm talking about website or platform, we have Scopus, as I said, Web of Science, Google Scholar, all those things. So you carefully develop a search string to obtain the most relevant results. As I was saying, those websites, they have their particular method of search. So you have to master that. You have to know it, how to do it. Otherwise, you won't find anything important or relevant. So that is the process of how to gather an evidence from online platforms. Now, here I want to talk about a case study, a research agenda for food security that have been developed by Assets, where I'm working currently. So we came up with a program, we got a funding, and we came up with this program in order to see what are the burning questions in the food security areas in Benin. And what we have done, we first we did a multi-stakeholder consultation to know what is the needs. What is the needs in the area of food security? What has been done and what can we further look for? So you see, and when we talk about the demand-driving research, it's actually an approach where the needs and priority of the end user, such as researcher, policymaker, and practitioner and community, drive the research agenda. As I was saying, here the end user are maybe the population of Benin, they are researcher in the domain of food security, they are policymaker in the food security area, or the government even, the practitioners in the food security area, and the communities. So when you have that first-hand information from those stakeholders, it helps you to well define your research agenda. So that's what we have done actually. So that ensures that your research is responsive to the most pressing challenge and opportunities. It is how we call it, a participative approach. So you have the information from the end user, and then you use it to design your research or to conduct your research. So as I was saying, we have defined during that multi-stakeholder consultation in the food security areas, we have been able to develop a research agenda in partnership with the Ministry of Education and the Ministry of Agriculture. 100 research question on food security and nutrition in Benin. And this agenda focuses on generating evidence that can directly inform policies. You understand? So we first get their needs, what is done, what is not available, and then we do research on that to develop or to produce that evidence. That will automatically inform policy because we include them from the beginning of the process. So what were the strategic objective of that research agenda is to contribute to the understanding of food and nutrition security issues in Benin. Secondly, is to inform the formulation and implementation of relevant, current, and impactful interventions. But at the operational level, it helps actually to strengthen the local capacity for producing and synthesizing, sorry for that, evidence-based data on FSN in Benin, and also support the translation of scientific knowledge into operational and decision-making knowledge. So you see, so those were the objectives that drive the research agenda. So here is the process that we used. As I was saying, from the beginning, there was a multi-stakeholder consultation where we gather stakeholders in the area of food security in Benin, including the researcher, the practitioner, the decision maker, or even the communities, to get their point of view on the burning question or on the gap that exists in the area. So after that stakeholder consultation, we launch a call of selection of projects. So we have 100 questions defined, and then we launch a call. And that call actually is intended to researchers to apply so that we can give them finding to produce evidence on each of the 100 questions that have been developed by them through the multi-stakeholder consultation. And after that, we review the project that have been submitted for each of those 100 questions. We deploy a supervision team and a monitoring team to see if what we have as question has been followed by the researchers that have been selected to conduct or to generate all those evidence. And after that, we will try to use that evidence and transfer it and do some knowledge translation. So we convert that knowledge or that evidence that we produce, we will convert into certain format to help a decision maker to get it. I'm seeing there is now question session. Is it okay, Samuel?
Are you done with your slides?
No, I think it's remain for slide 5. Yeah.
Oh, all right. Yeah, I mean, once you're done, then we can take up questions.
Great. Thank you. So that is the process that we actually used to develop our research question till to the evidence production. Let me see the slide not moving. What's the problem?
Can you
Excuse me.
go
Okay,
on?
I think now, yeah. Yeah. So now those are the six type of domain that we got from the stakeholder, from the multi-stakeholder consultation. So we have food supply system, food environment, consumer behavior, political and institutional environment, trade and investment in food and nutrition security, nutritional status. So those are the four domains that we covered for the 100 questions that have been developed. Now, how demand-driving research lead to more relevant and impactful outcome? Actually, it helped to align with priorities. So you see, when we did the multi-stakeholder consultation, we got to know the priority of the stakeholders, of all stakeholders in the area. And that helped to design our research based on that, so that they can, the result that we get at the end will be useful to them. Also, it helped to enhance engagement. So they have been engaged, so they know what we are doing, they know what is there, so they can provide even feedback on the research. It also improved policy relevance. You see, because the evidence that we have been decided by the policymakers, and this help to actually improve it. And also it creates a great impact, because we don't do research just to do it. Our research is based on a needs. There was a diagnosis that had been done, so we have the need there, and then we apply we do our research to fill that gap. So it helped to create very big impact actually. So the last part, you have to be innovative and mindful of the fact that the research is produced to be used. So you don't do research just maybe you want to get your PhD, or you want to get your master's degree, or you want to get your bachelor. It should not be the case. You do research because you want to contribute in the knowledge area, because you have noticed that there is some gap, somewhere, and then you want to fill it. So you have to put that in mind and be innovative in your research, because your research is produced to be used. So research should not only present finding, but it will also provide clear, actionable recommendation that policymakers and practitioners can implement. So you don't just do research and oh yeah, I have done my research, I have published it, I got my degree. That's all. No, it's not all. You have to know the research that I produce. Anyone can understand it. Is it being used in the sector? So if you have not done that, that means your research is not relevant, you see. So actually this bridges a gap between knowledge and action. When you publish the paper, you have to do it. You have therefore go deeper and provide a kind of format that can be used to for practitioners to actually use it in the field to make impact. So as an example of a format that you can use once you have published your article or defending your thesis, all those things, you can now write something that we call policy briefs. Policy briefs are actually some like a 3-page paper that help you to explain your research, and you have to remove technical words so that anyone that take that, he can have a clear understanding of your research. What are the outcomes? What are the recommendations? So we have, as I said, we have done many of that because that is our work. Our organization is based on an approach that we called evidence-informed policy, EIP. So we do evidence, we produce evidence, or we can also gather evidence and use it to inform policy making. So you see, so these are the kind of format that we have been able to do, and there are many. I have just put some example there. So the role of stakeholder engagement in the research process, engaging stakeholders, as I was saying from the beginning of the research process, ensure that the research is relevant and that findings are more likely to be adapted. If I include you from the beginning, that means I have taken into account your needs or everything. So when I bring the results, you should be able to accept it. You see, so it's not a top-down, it's a participatory, it's a bottom-up approach. Effective method for stakeholder engagement, such as participatory research and co-creation of knowledge, should be taken into account. Yeah, that is correct. So that is the end of my presentation. Merci pour votre attention. So I think now we can start with the question section so that we can try to answer the question that you have, your burning question. Thank you.
Much for such insightful presentation, Martin Boton. So I think we're open for questions from our audience. But then we have, before that, we have one in the chat that I would like to read for you.
Okay.
This person wants to know that apart from Google Scholar and ResearchGate, which
yes,
is there any other suggested database? I think you covered, but maybe if you can still clarify it for them.
Yes,
Apart
exactly.
from
As you said, yes. As I said, there's a Web of Science, Google ResearchGate. There is Scopus, or if you can call it Scopus or Scopus, it depends on your pronunciation, is SCOPUS. So, but the problem of with those platforms is that you have to have a subscription. Your university or the organization where you are working should subscribe, or you also, I think you can also subscribe to it. So it's not free. Like Scopus Web of Science is not free. So, but they are very, very good to get some very nice insight or evidence on any topics. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. So please, if there's any other question, you raise your hands, let's ask him. Please, can you hear me?
Yes, I think Mia can hear you.
Okay. Okay. I think you unmute yourself and then ask your question. Alassane.
Yeah, okay. Thank you so much for giving me the floor. Before asking my question, allow me to congratulate Mr. Boton for his clear presentation. Congratulations to him. Me, I want to know.
Thank you.
During his presentation, he speaks about review systematic. Me, I want to know what is a review systematic, and during a review systematic, is it possible to use a software to do this work? If possible, to give me, for example, an example of software to do this work. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Can I go ahead?
Yes, please.
Yes. So systematic review is a review, as I say, as the name says. Systematic review is a review that helps you to gather evidence on special or a particular topic. You see, so we have a literature review. We have, I think we have bibliographic review. We have literature review, and we have a systematic review. The bibliographic review, sorry, help you actually to get a certain number of documents or articles or reports on a particular topic. So you list them. Now, the literature review help you to go inside of those papers that you have identified, those reports, to see what are the evidence or what are the informations that they have produced based on your topics. That is a literature review. Now, the systematic review actually use all those two reviews, the bibliographic review and the literature review. But the particular aspect of the systematic review is that it helps actually to get a consensus among the evidence that you have. Someone has said this, so you go and search for other paper and see, are they saying the same thing? Where is they have a consensus about their finding? So that is the particularity of the systematic review. I hope you can understand it like that, because systematic review is something that most of the PhD candidates they do when they want to start writing their proposal. It helps them to get a broad view about the topic they're interested in and see what exists and what does not exist, and be able to define the gap, you see. So that's what I can say about systematic review. Now, about a software to do a systematic review, I'm not sure that there is a software, but there are certain platforms that you can use to help you to do it, because it's a rigorous methodology that you use to do it. So you can use Excel to actually do your review, because you have it's a long process. It's a long process. You can use Excel. You use Excel to delete duplicated paper that you have downloaded. You can also, I think, ChatGPT also. There are certain type of how can I say, ChatGPT that you can also use to help you analyze the evidence from each paper. So those are also there, but I don't know if the research area, the scientific research area, they have adopted that easily, but I know it is there.
Okay, thank you very much. So, Hassan, you unmute yourself and ask your question.
Yeah, my question had been answered. I am very happy. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Are you there? Please ask your question. Hi, Simon.
Are you sure he's here?
Hello.
Yeah.
Do you hear me?
Kosovo, I think if probably
talking now.
network
He's
is
talking now.
muted. Hello.
Please, do you hear me?
Okay.
Yeah,
All right. Okay.
we hear you. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you a lot for this opportunity. I want to thank a lot Mr. Boton for his presentation that I appreciate really well. But I want to ask some question about the brief policies that show in the last of his presentation. Is this brief policies as if you are PhD student, you can do this policy, draft policy at the beginning of your thesis.
Please, I didn't
I said that about the draft policies that you are talking about.
understand the question.
Do you hear me?
Hello? Yes, I can hear you now. Please go ahead.
Okay. I say that my question is about the draft policies that you are presented at the last of your presentation.
Mm-hmm.
You say that it is good at the end of the thesis or any work, but I want to know if you are on the beginning of a thesis, is possible to do this brief policies before a review, systematic review or literature review establishment. That is my
Okay.
question.
Okay. Okay, thank you for that question. As I said, policy brief is something that comes after you have done your research. You have done the research, you have finished your report or your dissertation, you have submitted, you have defended, you have published articles. It's after you publish the article now that you can write your policy briefs. So the policy brief is just a format that you use to communicate about your finding in a clear way. Because maybe you are in a prompt breeding areas, I don't know, you have some technical words that anyone cannot understand easily if you don't explain. So in the policy brief, you don't use those kind of where you find another synonym to communicate about it. So anyone that take your policy brief, they can be able to understand what you have done, which experience have you done, what are the results, and what are the recommendations. So when a policymaker, such as like a minister or a DG of a government agency, or I don't know, take your policy brief in which is, I think, 2 to 3 pages almost. So you take that, when he take that, sorry, he can get in 10 minutes or 5 minutes, he can get what you have done. He can know, okay, so on this is what he should take as a decision. So that's it. So it does, you don't do it from the beginning of your research. So it's at the end, totally at the end. I think I have answered your question. If not, you can rephrase it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you a lot.
Thank you very much. I think there's 1, 2 in the chat saying that as students, they need a free research sites that are equally good, but then free, if there is any suggestion.
Free things are not good. When you use free things, that means you are the product. They are also using you. They are using your information. So yeah, I understand you, but I think what you have to do if you are doing a master or PhD, I don't know, a bachelor, the university you are doing that from, I think most of them subscribe to those kinds of platforms. For example, Scopus, Web of Science, some of them, many actually, subscribe to those platforms and you use it free. But now in the case where the university did not subscribe to those platforms, so I think the only thing you can use is Google, Google Scholar. Google Scholar is free. Is not it's not so it is free. You can use Google Scholar. I think ResearchGate also is free. So that is it. That's what I can say.
Okay. As your hand is up,
Yeah, I raise up my hand. I know time is fast spent.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, Martin. But just in 1 minute, can you, because I know it's like most of the things that you've talked about is tied to more of social research, and majority of us, including myself, let me not say majority, but some of us here, we're into applied research. Do you guys, have you guys embark on any applied research, and how do you knit this thing? How are you able to apply these things that you've talked about to, I mean, applied research where you go to the field, maybe plants, or you're dealing with animals, or maybe in the greenhouse or in the lab? How do you leverage on these like an evidence-based research, and then you can translate things from, from your lab into those that will benefit? Just briefly, because we are out of time, have you guys embarked on any research like that, and in what way can we learn from your experience?
Yes, thank you, Samuel, for that wonderful question. Yeah, that is very interesting. At ASSET, we have many projects. So we have projects on livestock, all those things, but we don't do experience as you are saying. But what I can say is that as a PhD student or as a researcher, what you are doing is, I think, is already evidence-based, because you don't close yourself in a room and then start writing. So you are open to the world. You use information online. So that is already evidence. But do you respect the critical criteria or the critical methodology? That may be the question. Do you consult first the stakeholders? Do you do multi-stakeholder consultation? When you finish writing your thesis or writing your paper or those things, do you convert it into a format that can be available for anyone or accessible to anyone to read? So that's the key question. Yeah, so that's what I can say about your question, Sammy.
All right. Thank you very much. I think we have to wrap up now. I would hand over to Amaka, who would just pass some announcement and then wrap it up. Thank you, Martin.
Okay. Thank
You're
you so
welcome.
much. Yes, thank you, Martin Boton, for this wonderful presentation. It's been really insightful. We appreciate you taking time from the busy schedule to just come and share these insights with us. So I'll just go straight ahead to the announcement so that we'll be able to respect everyone's time. As you all are aware, our symposium is coming up. At least I believe most of you here are following us on social media. If you're not, I've put the link on the chat. You can equally search the name on LinkedIn. That way you can get all the updates, right? You can get all the announcements about our events and the symposium. So our symposium is coming up really soon. We have that announcement out there. And then we encourage students to submit their abstracts to sign up for a competition to win some money, right? $100 is a lot of money in Nigeria. At least I know it's around maybe 150,000. That's a lot of money. So you should enter to try to win that prize. You know, it's a lot of money. So take advantage of that. And beyond the money that you win, right, it gives you opportunity to interact with experts in the field, get real feedback on the research that you're doing. It's important to just put yourself out there and build your confidence one way or another. So we have two categories for the graduate category and then the undergrad category, just to separate it. All the information is there on our LinkedIn page. Please take advantage of that. Send in your abstracts. We'll be waiting for them. And we've extended the abstract submission to August 31st. So you still have about 2 weeks. Today is 15th. You have about 2 weeks to send in. We've received quite a good number, but of course, it's never too much. So send them in to us. So we're also going to post a link for a webinar survey, because we always want to get feedback. The only way for us to improve on what we deliver is that we get feedback and we know how to serve you better. So I believe Samuel has posted the link now on the chat. So kindly do us the favor of filling out the link and just give us some feedback on the webinar that you've attended. It will give us a lot of information on how we can make it better next time. So the final thing I'm going to ask is if you can, please turn on your camera so that we can take a picture. You know, I always love taking pictures. So turn on your camera, let's take a picture. This will be just at least as a memory for today. So everybody that can turn on their camera, that would be really good. Let's just take a quick picture and you can be on your way. I can hand the rest of your day back to you. Thank you so much. So I'm going to do a quick picture. Okay, that's good. More people coming? Okay. All right. Smile, please. Smile. Smiling is good for your soul. One more. I'm gonna turn my left. Okay. Good. I got a beautiful picture. Thank you very much, everyone, for turning on your camera. And please, we'll be expecting those abstracts, and we also expect that you follow us. Also, something that you can do for us to just I
think you are muted.
You're muted, Amaka.
Oh my God. Sorry. And I've said such wonderful things. How am I going to remember the things I said? Okay. I was going to say that what I was saying is that something you can do for us just to make sure that we reach as more people as possible, at least almost all of us here are Africans, I believe. I'm Nigerian, Samuel is, and so many different parts of Africa. It's not going to be wrong if we had 500 young Africans listening to events like this, right? So how we are able to reach more people, it all depends on you. Social media is a big tool. So you can go to our social media page, you can share our posts. When you see us, put up flyer of the things we are going to do, share it and get other people involved. If Africa is growing, it's to our own advantage. It looks good on us. So we all have a role to play. This is free. Nobody has asked you to pay anything. Nobody would ever ask you to pay anything. So as much as you're getting for free, the least you could do is to try to also bring your brother, be your brother's keeper. Advertise, share the links, just the same way we've shared it to you. Also try to share it to as many people as possible. We pass the message on and then we do better. Hi, Divine, it's good to see you. So yeah, so that's just what I wanted to say as a final note. So thank you all so much for coming. Samuel, is there something else or should I send everyone on their way? Do you have anything else?
Yeah, I mean, you can just do us a favor so that we don't mass send emails to everybody, even people that were not in attendance. So just do us a favor by dropping your email before you leave. And with that, we can send you the post webinar survey, please. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, please
Yeah.
just drop them. Just drop before you leave. Yeah, thank you very much, guys.
All right, yes, please. That would be wonderful, please. So just drop your email. That way you could also get email of any follow-up information and the survey. So just put it on the chat so that we can copy it. Say, Samuel, thank you for that. Hi, Ruth. So good to see you. Ruth is a plant breeder, just like me. So it's so good to see you. So I think Samuel, is that it? Is that all?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
thank you, guys.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for showing up. So we'll be expecting you in our symposium. That's of September 16th, right?
19.
Yeah, September 16th. All the information is out there. So if you've submitted your abstract, we've gotten it. If you've not, we encourage you to submit those abstracts. We'll be, getting back to you on the information on those who will be in the competition and how all of that is going to be. The symposium itself is free, it's free. So advertise, that's something you can do for us. Share the post, invite more people who are in plant science related fields, any plant science related field. This is something they can truly benefit from. So without much ado, I think we've gone over by about 10 minutes or so, but it was necessary to do that because we had a little bit of technical glitches at the beginning. But I'm happy that we were able to still get the information. Thank you again, Martin Boton, for the wonderful presentation. And I really thank all of you again for taking the time to come and spend this time with us. And with that, I say adios. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Yep. Thank you.